Hello YouTube, how's it going? My name is William and I'm here to bring you this magnificent aircraft in GTA 5. We are of course talking about the Concorde. Just look at it. Here it is in the Air France livery, looking magnificent. Here we have a 360 shot of the whole aircraft. This is a mod created by a user on GTA forums, GTA 5 mods. Um, his name is SkylineGTRFreak, so go visit his creations. I'll put a link to this mod in the description of the video. Um, but yeah, just there are no need for words. Just look at it from the outside. Look how beautiful it looks. Now here we have a shot of the cockpit. Um, as you can see, there are lots of dials and they're very accurate to what the cockpit and the actual Concorde looks like. The steering column moves every which way, so that's functioning. In the back we see here the spot where the flight engineer would sit with all of his controls. We see the top panel and the working compass under it. So that's extremely detailed as well. The author put a lot of work into making it look as detailed as possible. Absolutely wonderful. The artificial horizon works as well. Here we drop the nose. You can see the animation of the nose dropping of this aircraft. And here I'll showcase it from the outside. As you can see, one of the things that people remember this aircraft by is its nose, and you can make it look all droopy, as it were. Now here you can see the traditional British Airways livery, the older British Airways livery that this mod comes in, Air France livery, as well as the next livery is the Pepsi livery, which was an actual marketing stunt done by Pepsi in 1996. It was short-lived for various reasons that I will get into later. And here we also see the Singapore Airlines livery that this mod comes in as well. Here you can also see working landing lights. Those help when taking off and landing at night. They're really bright, and they do their job very well. And here we have the takeoff. And the takeoff, I tried to make it look just like the real Concorde takeoff from the front, to where it has a very high angle of lift. Here we can see the landing gear also fully operational, and we can see the profile shot of this beautiful aircraft. Now the 4 jet engines at the back were created by Rolls-Royce. These are the Olympus 593 jet engines. They produce 38,050 foot-pounds of thrust each. So that's equivalent to like 16 or so passenger cars as far as thrust goes. The max speed that this aircraft was ever able to achieve was Mach 2.04, which translates to roughly 1,354 miles per hour or 2,179 kilometers per hour. So it went pretty quick. The wingspan of this aircraft is 84 feet. The rate of climb is 10,000 feet per minute, and its cruising altitude is 60,000 feet at Mach 2. So it gets up there real fast. Because it's traveling at supersonic speeds, it gets pretty toasty. So the maximum nose tip temperature is 260 degrees Fahrenheit or 127 degrees Celsius. Let's see, what else can I tell you? The Concorde was first flown, its first flight happened in March 1969, and its final flight happened in October 2003. So it operated in those times, and it's amazing to think that an aircraft so advanced was conceived back in the late 60s and 70s. Now this is one of the only supersonic transports to ever been operated commercially. The other one is the Tu-144, the Tupolev airplane that I won't get too much into. It's the first passenger aircraft to use afterburners. So that's pretty much one and only that I know of. You guys may correct me in the comments. Um, the main flights for this aircraft were from Paris or London, so Charles de Gaulle and Heathrow airports to JFK across the Atlantic. The reason for that being the fact that supersonic flight over ground creates a sonic boom, and and people on the ground can hear it, and it's pretty annoying to to residents of whichever countries or cities you're flying over. So there was a petition to not do this, and so Concorde typically flew across the Atlantic as to not bother anyone on the ground with this noise. And it's also pretty noisy at takeoff as well. Here you can see the delta wing design, which is the best for supersonic transport. It's very maneuverable. As you can see, I'm doing a couple of barrel rolls here. And so is the mod. I mean, there were accounts where pilots would make barrel rolls in this thing, and it was just absolutely easy for them to do. It also set all sorts of speed records. It set a speed record of the fastest flight between JFK to Heathrow, which was coincidentally its final flight. It did that in 2 hours and 52 minutes. So that's really quick. The major operators, because it just traveled across the Atlantic, were 2 hours and the main carriers of this aircraft were British Airways and Air France, because of the fact that it had to fly across the Atlantic. Let's see, what else can I tell you about it? Only ever 20 Concorde aircrafts were ever built. 6 were built for development and 14 were built for commercial service. Let's see, am I missing anything on my list of facts? Oh yes, let's talk about the name. The name Concorde, in both French and English language, because it's an Anglo-French creation, means harmony or peace, or agreement. And it's symbolic to showcase the fact that both countries worked on it and produced a wonderful, wonderful aircraft. Now, to talk about the mod a little bit, it's an add-on. It's an add-on mod. It's not. It doesn't replace anything in your. As far as aircraft, it doesn't replace anything within the game. It's an add-on, and you can spawn it if you have a trainer or a vehicle spawner that has an option to spawn by name. Just type in BAC, which coincidentally stands for British Aircraft Corporation, and it'll spawn for you. Taxiing is very easy as far as end game. As you can see here, the real-life Concorde uses something like 2 tons of fuel when it's just taxiing out to the runway or away from the runway to the airport itself, to the gate. So that's a lot of fuel. The very interesting thing about fuel is that it has a lot of fuel pumps installed in the fuselage in order to keep balance. So it has to pump fuel from back of the plane to the front of the plane at certain times, and vice versa, in order to maintain balance. Now, as we taxi along here, I just want to kind of say that this is my first mod video. I wanted to do a small review. I'll give this mod absolutely 5 out of 5 stars. I have enjoyed it thoroughly through just flying around San Andreas, and I think you guys will too if you go ahead and download it and install it into your game. I think you're gonna have lots of fun flying the Concorde around. It's very maneuverable. You can do all sorts of tricks in the air. You can do barrel rolls, half barrel rolls, whatever you want in it. You can do sharp nose dives. It pulls out really easily. It's not cumbersome. It's very graceful. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, this is one of the best mods for any GTA game that I've ever owned and I've ever downloaded. So go ahead and download it. I'll put the link to the description, as well as other supplementary links and I'll give proper credit to everyone who was involved in making of this mod that I know of. Please let me know in the comments if you want me to make more GTA 5 mod reviews. I would be happy to oblige. And let me know how I did and if I should keep doing this. So for now, my name is William. I'll go ahead and check out, and let me know in the comments if you want to see more.